Role for the commissioners participating in public comment, deliberations, and voting on the cases on today's agenda. Chairperson is present. Commissioner Garland.
Present.
Commissioner Kozel.
Present.
Commissioner Long.
Present.
Commissioner Minor.
Present.
Present.
Commissioner O'Mara.
Present.
Commissioner Purcell.
Present.
Commissioner Ruff.
Present.
Commissioner Sharif.
Present.
Commissioner Tyra. Commissioner Thornton.
Present.
Please note for the minutes that a majority of the commissioners currently appointed are present in person at 1515 K Street in Sacramento. We will now hear comments regarding cases on today's agenda. For each case, first we will take comments from those in support of the incarcerated person. Then we will take comments from those in opposition to the incarcerated person. We will call on people by either the name provided or the last digits of their telephone number. We will enable the person's microphone so they can unmute and provide their comment. Your 2 minutes will begin when you start to speak. If you wish to speak today, you must sign up on our speaker list. You can submit a speaker card available on the board's website under the tab called Board Meetings and the link Meeting Agendas. Alternately, you can call 916-267-0857 and provide your information and the case you would like to speak on. If the case you want to speak on has already passed, you will have another opportunity to speak at the end once we have gone through all the cases. Comments are limited to 2 minutes. There is no rebuttal. If you are speaking, please eliminate any background noise. The first case is JESSIE MILO, number P40495, item 28. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. People who signed up to speak in support of JESSIE MILO, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button or by pressing *5 on your telephone. This will help us enable your microphone. The first speaker I have is Gabby King. Gabby King, go ahead and unmute yourself with the microphone icon or by pressing *6 by telephone. Oh, you're in person. My apologies.
Moderator, yes, they are in person.
Good morning. Oh, there
you go. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Gabby, and I'm an assistant professor and supervising attorney at the University of San Francisco School of Law. Most importantly, I am proudly Mr. Milo's attorney. I am not here to recount the remarkable achievements you'll hear about extensively from others, but to speak to something more fundamental, the transformative power that Mr. Milo embodies. Mr. Milo has gone through radical self-growth and rehabilitation, resulting in a completely different person than he was at the time of the life crime. I have never worked with a client who has touched as many lives as Mr. Milo has. He possesses a unique ability to create meaningful change from within the most restrictive environment imaginable. He doesn't just change himself, he changes everyone around him. He has changed me. What strikes me most is how people light up when they speak about Mr. Milo. There's an unmistakable energy, a genuine warmth that speaks to his character and influence as a respected leader and advocate. I have witnessed Mr. Milo's art and spoken word move audiences to their feet and to tears, including our law students, CDCR personnel, fellow incarcerated people, staff from the governor's office, and San Francisco attorney Brooke Jenkins. This is raw, authentic power to heal and inspire. It is not merely rehabilitation, but active transformation, insight, accountability, and remorse. Mr. Milo is not only rehabilitated, but he is rehabilitating others and actively preventing youth from making the same mistakes he did. He has become a force for good that extends far beyond himself. Mr. Milo knows the reality of his 170-year sentence. Mr. Milo told me, quote, "It's all about legacy. I'm going to die in a cell, and I had to ask myself what I wanted to be remembered for when I leave this earth. Someone who brought pain or someone who brought love and healing." Mr. Milo embodies CDCR's mission of genuine rehabilitation. Respectfully, if Mr. Milo is not deserving of a commutation, I do not know who is. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. The next speaker in person is Belle Yan.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Belle Yan, and as an assistant professor and supervising attorney at the University of San Francisco School of Law, I represent Jessie MILO. I'm honored to share Jessie's extraordinary story of transformation and service. You will hear today how Jessie has consistently created educational opportunities where none existed. He operates from the principle that we learn best when we learn from each other. When incarcerated residents needed legal training on the inside, Jessie organized a day-long inside training. In May 2025, he invited myself, our law students, and colleagues to share their expertise, creating opportunities for learning on both sides. My students practice essential skills while building relationships with future clients, and veteran public defenders built meaningful connections beyond the traditional attorney-client relationship. Jessie's meticulous planning, execution, and teamwork demonstrated his commitment to expanding access to justice and sharing resources to benefit others. Despite barriers that incarceration places on communication, Jessie has become a powerful force for change on the inside and in the community at large. In October 2024, Jessie participated in the San Quentin mock election, considering his choices at his own ballot measures and encouraging democratic participation. He authors thoughtful op-eds that share his lived experiences, adding an important perspective to policy discussions. And as an artist, he uses his skills to design visual campaigns supporting critical legislation. Jessie exemplifies civic engagement at its finest, going far beyond what most community members achieve despite having fewer limitations. Jessie's rehabilitation journey encompasses both profound personal accountability and meaningful service to others. His ability to transform personal remorse into constructive programming demonstrates the depth of his rehabilitation. Jessie has become an architect of rehabilitation and living proof that transformation is possible. I respectfully urge your recommendation to the governor to grant commutation. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker in person is Morgan Zamora.
Good morning. My name is Morgan Zamora, and I serve as the Prison Advocacy Manager for the Ella Baker Center for Human Rights. For the past 2.5 years, I've had the privilege of working alongside Jessie MILO. In that time, I have witnessed Jessie's deep belief in transformation and the power to change lives through education, mentorship, and real opportunities for accountability. My first introduction to Jessie was through his organizing of a Spanish language workshop at San Quentin, the first of its kind at any CDCR facility, developed by Jessie after seeing a need for support in a community that was not his own. Though Jessie gained no personal benefit, he recognized the lack of resources and knew that someone needed to step up. This exemplifies the type of leader that Jessie is, one who sees a need, who acts on it, and who follows through to fulfill his promises. His peers and staff at his facility have placed their trust in him, electing him into leadership positions and giving him the responsibility to shape rehabilitative programming. I hold in my hands one of Jessie's many pieces of artwork, which embodies his vision of love, healing, and safety through compassion, togetherness, and investment in the next generation. Jessie has already begun this work behind walls, changing the culture at San Quentin and changing the lives of every individual that has been in his vicinity, including my own. This opportunity for freedom will allow Jessie to expand that reach and realize the full potential of the change that he has the capacity to create. I strongly support Jessie MILO and urge you to recommend him to the governor for commutation. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker in person is Bethlehem Desta.
Hello, and thank you, Commissioners, for this opportunity to address you today. My name is Bethlehem Desta, and I serve as a Senior Program Coordinator for the Ella Baker Center for Human Rights. I'm honored to speak to you today in support of Jessie MILO. I first met Jessie in the summer of 2023, both via correspondence and in person at the Civic Engagement Group at the San Quentin Rehabilitation Center. Prior to meeting Jessie, I was familiar with him through his artwork related to Senator Joss Becker's SB 474, which Governor Newsom signed into law later that same year. Since meeting Jessie, I have kept in regular contact with him via both video and phone calls, through which I've learned more about him and his story, his life prior to his incarceration, and the deep and profound transformation that he has undergone while incarcerated. The Jessie that I met and have come to know is a kind, empathetic, and respectful person. Jessie has been transparent with me regarding the harm that he caused, and I have seen how his genuine remorse has motivated him and given him a deep sense of purpose. Jessie has demonstrated a steadfast commitment to doing his part to address gun violence. including but not limited to through his work with the Arms Down program at San Quentin as part of his journey of accountability. Even during our very first meeting at the Civic Engagement Group, Jessie spoke at length about the importance of legislation focused on supporting victims. I was moved by Jessie's drive to be part of healing for survivors of violence. Jessie has a robust support network as a credit to his insight, integrity, and transformation, and he has shown how dedicated he is to giving back to his community through efforts like the San Quentin Civic Engagement Group, Arms Down program, his youth offender peer mentorship, and his artwork, which represents one of the key coping skills he has honed over the years. Jessie has shown himself to be a true force for compassion and healing. In my capacity as a staff member of the Ella Baker Center, I can share that my colleagues and I are committed to continuing to support Jessie. If he were commuted and found suitable for parole, we would be prepared to support him with his financial needs through our reentry fund and other fundraising support, and we would encourage him to apply for a role to join our team. I respectfully request that you recommend Jessie to Governor Newsom for commutation. Thank you very much for your time and consideration.
Thank you. The next speaker in person is Jenny Rose Nelson.
Hello, my name is Jenny Rose Nelson, and I was admitted to the State Bar this past summer, and I am a legal fellow at the USF School of Law. I'm here to offer my support for Jessie MILO as someone who has been deeply impacted by his creative work and the example that he sets through it. Mr. MILO's art demonstrates that he is the kind of person who is not only introspective enough to engage in the extremely difficult work of learning to understand himself and his surroundings, but also that he is courageous enough to share what he has experienced to help other people, even when it hurts, especially because it hurts, because he knows that through this work, he's able to help countless others begin and continue to heal. It takes a rare kind of discipline and strength of character to continue creating under such constrained circumstances. His body of work shows not only consistency, but a commitment to observation, self-awareness, and growth. It reveals someone who is actively engaging in the world, thinking critically, contributing meaningfully, and using his time to build. I believe that Jessie MILO has shown through his actions, his art, and his growth that he is ready for the chance to contribute more wholly and freely to his community. Here I have some of his art, and I respectfully ask for you to consider granting him the opportunity to continue his powerful healing work at home in the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Last speaker in person is James King.
Good morning. My name is James King. I work as Director of Programs for the Ella Baker Center for Human Rights. I'm here today in support of Governor Newsom's efforts regarding clemency for Jessie MILO. I appreciate you, the commissioners, for taking the time to hear from me and others about the person Jessie is today. Though I know you're not today looking at the totality of Jessie's suitability, I wanted to come and make a statement on the record about the person Jessie and his impact on our community. Prior to joining EBC, I served a life sentence under the 3 strikes law. My sentence was commuted in 2018. I was found suitable for parole by the very wonderful Commissioner Snyder in 2019. I have a perspective on Jessie that is rooted both in the years I've known him and in my understanding of what it takes to be successful once released. I first met Jessie soon after he arrived at San Quentin, and I know him to be patient, hardworking, ethical, and empathetic. At our first meeting, he explained to me what it was like growing up and being introduced to gang culture at a very young age and how that impacted his thinking for years. During many subsequent discussions, he shared the hard work he's done to change his thinking patterns and heal from the trauma he experienced at a young age. That's why, whether it's his art, his immense creativity, his work both in groups and in the housing units, Jessie devotes his entire being to being a healer. His work in civic engagement shows tremendous integrity. He helped develop the curriculum for Arms Down, a group dedicated to ending gun violence, because he wants to be part of ending the cycles of violence he once contributed to. And he has crafted and donated numerous beautiful works of art with the goals of furthering community safety and healing. I can tell you as a friend for several years that his transformation is real and the community will benefit greatly from his release. If released, Jessie will have a robust support system around him. We are standing by, and the Ella Baker Center is ready to support Jessie's reentry in meaningful, tangible ways. Once released, we will offer financial assistance and connect him with other community-based service providers to ensure he will have stability as he reenters society. Thank you.
Thank you. If you're on video, please unmute yourself by pressing the microphone button. If you're on phone, please unmute yourself by pressing *6. The next speaker I have is Destiny Breda. I see you're with us. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Good morning. My name is Destiny Breda, and I am a law student at USF. I had the pleasure of meeting Mr. MILO about a year ago as I was assigned to his case as a student clinician in the USF Racial Justice Clinic. Prior to meeting Mr. MILO, I was briefed on his overall case, including the life crime, the phenomenal work that he has done while being incarcerated, and the incredible art that he has created. My assignment for Mr. MILO was to work on a commutation application with a fellow student, Alyssa Tilley, who you will also hear from today. I believe that Mr. MILO is the epitome of an individual suitable for a commutation, and that his continued incarceration is against the interest of justice. Mr. MILO has not only maximized the resources he has access to, but he has gone beyond the extra mile to be a driver of change and create resources, not only for himself, but for also the benefit of others. The others that I refer to include not only other incarcerated individuals, but also people like myself that are out in the community attempting to do our part. I actually had the opportunity to meet Mr. MILO in person at San Quentin. This was the first time I had ever been in prison, inside of a prison, and the first time I met an incarcerated client in person. I was incredibly moved by Mr. MILO and felt inclined to tell him just how much I believe in him, how inspirational he truly is, and how grateful I am to have had the opportunity to tell his story. Mr. MILO is an inspiration to me and so many others. To know his story is to know that he is not the same person he was at the time of the life crime. He has done the work necessary to rehabilitate himself and consistently demonstrates growth, accountability, and a sincere commitment to being a positive influence and change maker. It is my hope that you all see Mr. MILO for who he truly is, an amazing person that should no longer be incarcerated. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker we have is Aaliyah Sky. I believe she's joining us by phone. You'll press *6 to unmute yourself.
Good morning, commissioners. My name is Aaliyah Sky. I'm a law student at USF as well. I will be reading a palindrome style poem authored by Jessie MILO as an example of the art that Jessie brings to the world. My crime defines me, and don't try to convince me that there's something good in everybody. Because when you take a closer look, this world is filled with evil people, even if you meet some good people once in a while. Because happiness can be chosen only if you have a release date. It's not true that happiness is a possible choice. I'm sure you can agree. Statistics is stronger than hope. And being hopeless beats being hopeful. It's all a choice. I regret my incarceration, and you'll never in a million years hear me say that. I'm thankful for my incarceration. I'm thankful for my incarceration, and you'll never in a million years hear me say that. I regret my incarceration. It's all a choice. Being hopeful beats being hopeless, and hope is stronger than statistics. I'm sure you can agree it's not true that happiness is a possible choice only if you have a release date. Happiness can be chosen because you meet some good people once in a while, even if the world is filled with evil people, because when you take a closer look, there's something good in everybody. And don't try to convince me that my crime defines me. Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Alyssa Tilley. Alyssa, I can see you're with us. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, my name is Alyssa Tilley, and I'm a recent graduate of the University of San Francisco School of Law. I had the privilege of meeting Mr. Jessie MILO a little over a year ago through my work in the law school's racial justice clinic, and I've been fortunate to maintain a professional connection with Mr. MILO even after graduating. Mr. MILO's case has been the most impactful story I encountered in my 3 years of law school. He is the person whose character, transformation, and community commitment stand out to me above all others, especially in light of his extraordinary length of his current prison sentence. Jessie MILO is a person of exceptional character and leadership. He's deeply genuine, incredibly heartfelt, and uniquely effective at connecting with other people. This has come in handy, for example, in his experience co-founding Arms Down at San Quentin. This is a mutual help rehabilitative program run by incarcerated men built to address and dismantle what participants call firearm addiction. This past month, I had the opportunity to attend the graduation of the most recent Arms Down cohort at San Quentin. As soon as I got there, I was struck by how many participants there were in the cohort, yet the waitlist for the program is still so long. During the ceremony, many participants spoke about how no other program had helped them unpack what had led to their gun violence the way this one did. As a co-founder and facilitator, Mr. Milo gave a special address in which he shared his own story. When Jessie spoke about his crime, he was so open and vulnerable about the mistake he made as a young man and the ripple effect it had on his victims and his family. Many of us in the audience were visibly moved by his accountability and his dedication to doing this work. He spoke about how the program provides space for examining childhood trauma, social pressure, beliefs around masculinity, power, protection, all issues at the root of gun violence. I did not feel safer leaving San Quentin, knowing a man like Jessie Milo resides there, incarcerated. He is not just a theoretical success story. He is real, measurable, and working in difficult contexts to transform not just his life, but the lives of others. Thank you for your time and for considering not just what he did, but what he has become and what he can still do.
Thank you. The next speaker we have is Sol Mercado. I can see you're with us. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Sol Mercado, you still appear to be muted on your end. You have to click the microphone icon up by the red button. Sol Mercado, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you.
Moderator looks like she is trying to dial in.
Okay, thank you. We'll circle back to Sol. Ron Swakel, Stukel, I'm so sorry. I have messed up that name. Ron, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute yourself.
That's very common, so please don't worry about it. My name is not easy. My name is Ron Stickel. I am the Justice Services Director at Sunset Youth Services. We are a violence prevention agency in San Francisco serving systems-involved youth and young adults. We have gotten to know Jessie Milo because we are outside support for the Arms Down program. And I've been working with him for the past year and a half. And the thing, in addition to the letter that we submitted, one thing I'm going to bring up and notice now is in the year and a half that we have been working with this program and going in almost weekly to watch, the way I have seen Jessie be able to identify and connect to the community he's a part of, regardless of what that is astounding. His, excuse me, he has chosen to, as one of the founders of Arms Down, to impart what has truly become part of his entity, which is love and compassion and a change and a desire to completely better whatever community he is involved in. I have watched his ability to connect and collaborate, to both teach and learn at the same time from the people he is around. But I have been most impressed with his ability to move in and walk alongside someone who is on the journey, on the same journey he is on the same journey he is farther along, and walk along and pull them with them and say basically to them, I know the way, I've been there before. Come and let me impart the changes I have truly made in my heart and help them become a part of your life, consequently a part of your community, whatever that is. I am deeply impressed with his ability to work within communities. And we need him on the outside working with these communities. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I can see, is Dawn right next to you? Does she also wish to speak?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Dawn Stickel. I am the Executive Director of Sunset Youth Services in San Francisco. And like Ron said, we've been working with Jessie for about a year and a half. And I would just like to add what Ron said at the very end, which is we on the outside, we are working every day with young people who are gun offenders and or gun carriers, and we see the need every single day for people like Jessie Milo who have done the work and who have who are credible messengers to be able to come back into their communities and really live the changes that they have made in themselves and their understanding of how violence rips communities apart from impact of victims all the way through, that the ripple effect is an unending situation. And we've seen Jessie week after week continue to show up and be the person that he is, even when he's struggling through something hard that's happened. He still shows up. He still shows up in his character and is there committed to creating spaces for other people to be on their healing journey. We strongly support Jessie getting out and being able to continue his work in the community, and respectfully ask you to support his commutation. Thank you.
Thank you. I can see Sol Mercado. I can see you have joined us on the phone. Go ahead and press *6 to unmute yourself. Go ahead.
Hi, I apologize. For some reason, it wouldn't let me unmute myself. My name is Sol Mercado, and I'm a reentry coordinator for Planting Justice, and I'm also formerly incarcerated. I first met Jessie when I started going into San Quentin, almost 3 years ago. And what struck me is that when he approached my table and he see what we do at Planting Justice, and he mentioned to me that he had saw a documentary and that it really resonated with him, and about his childhood and everything that it had to do with it. And when he looked at me, he was like, "Oh my God, you're that lady from the documentary." And he started crying. And he's like, "Your story really impacted me. It really helped me resonate with mine. And I love what you're doing about gun violence, and I would love for you to come in to our group." And that's when I first started hearing about Arms Down. So I started coming in as a guest speaker. We share my film, and I also share my story with the group. And but it really impacted me how this group was being formed, on the inside, because in the Women's Prison we never saw that. And when I heard him share his story and how everybody looked up to him, how he mentored others, how he was so vulnerable sharing his story with others, it really impacted my life. And it really, I was like, all right, okay, I really want to come back. I really want to come back and keep working with them. And so I started coming in more often in the group, and I started seeing all the work that he was doing. And I strongly believe that he deserves a second chance. He has done a lot of impactful work, not only on the inside, but also in the community. And I believe that if he is to be free today, he will continue that work.
Your 2 minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
So I'm here and strongly in support of Jessie Milo. Thank you.
Thank you. I've been asked, Chairperson, to read a short statement that if you wish to speak today, you must sign up on our speaker list. You can submit a speaker card available on the board's website under the tab Board Meetings and the link Meeting Agendas. Alternately, you can call 916-267-0857 and provide your information and the case you would like to speak on. If the case you want to speak on is already passed, you will have another opportunity to speak at the end once we have gone through all the cases. The next speaker we have on video is Brooke Jenkins. I can see your hand is raised. Go ahead.
Hi, good morning. I am Brooke Jenkins, the San Francisco District Attorney. This is the first time that I have ever spoken at a hearing of this nature. And as you can imagine, given my position, I take it quite seriously. I have known Jessie for about 2 years now, which started when my office formed a partnership at San Quentin in which we host symposiums regularly there. And I met Jessie at our very first symposium. I don't know that he has missed one since, and I've also been able to see him through our work with the Civic Engagement Group, as well as through Arms Down, the program that you've heard all about this morning. Jessie has left an impression on me as well as members of my staff, like no one else that we have worked with inside of San Quentin. The insight that he has formed about his crime and what led him to commit the crime, the circumstances surrounding his life and his community and his upbringing that contributed to his commission of the crime, the level of accountability that he takes for what he did is very unique and it's very genuine. And I do believe that he has transformed himself. And I believe that we in law enforcement must still hold hope in human transformation and the ability for humans to transform. And Jessie, since the day I met him, has shown me that there is that ability and that people can change the way that they think, and also have an ability to give back, and to not only contribute, as you've heard, to his community inside of San Quentin, to communities of young lawyers, but also to prosecutors. And I have seen the impact that he's had on prosecutors and police officers that have come to our symposiums to help us understand the root cause of how someone ends up in his situation, but also, again, the power and the ability of human transformation. And that's why I felt it necessary to speak to you today.
Thank you. Thank you. The next speaker I have is Sally Ching. Sally Ching, I believe she's here and your microphone is enabled. Go ahead and press *6 if joining us by telephone.
Good morning. My name is Sally Ching. I'm the Policy Director with the Alliance for Boys and Men of Color. I would like to make a comment in support of Jessie MILO. In addition to spending years on his own rehabilitation and self-development, Jessie has worked on sharing his story and working with advocates in order to shed light on issues affecting numerous communities, helping push for policies and change that will help others who have gone through similar experiences. Jessie's words, through his writing and through an op-ed that he wrote, helped in passing a bill in the legislature that would help thousands of youth on probation. I respectfully ask for Jessie to be recommended for commutation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Chairperson, there appear to be no more speakers on the list in support of Jessie MILO.
Thank you, moderator. We will now take speakers in opposition to Jessie MILO.
Thank you. Speakers who are signed up to speak in opposition to Jessie MILO, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button or by pressing *5 on your telephone. This helps us enable your microphone. Our first speaker is Linda Dunn from Riverside County. Linda, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Good morning, everyone. You know, it's really disheartening to see all these lovely people from the Bay Area that know Mr. MILO talk about him in glowing terms and never once mentioning the people that he shot. Because there are two people out there who he shot in 2002. One of them, a young woman who's still walking around with a bullet near her spine because the doctors couldn't remove it. It was too close. And Mr. MILO committed this crime with no provocation. Two women got into a verbal dispute, a woman in another car and Mr. MILO's passenger, and that caused Mr. MILO to get out of his car and fire 6 shots. He hit 2 people, one in the shoulder and one in the abdomen, the woman that I just described. So that was his crime, pretty terrible crime. And nobody that I heard today ever even mentioned a word about that. Let's talk about now. Chief Legal Counsel was kind enough to provide the information that he's had 2 115s because we didn't get a watchdogs. We get nothing on these commutations. But she did say that he had 2 115s. The most recent one was in 2019. He has not had a spotless record. And here's the big thing that's missing. We don't know that much about Mr. MILO's personality, his version of the crime, his risk rating, because we don't have a CRA. And you know, in the upcoming regulations that you all are trying to pass, a CRA is required. And that's a good reason because CRAs are important tools. We don't have one. So what you have is Mr. MILO's version and all the people who support him, and then one lonely prosecutor. But I do, of course, represent a big office. And we are of the opinion that his commutation application is at the very least premature, is not supported by adequate
Your 2 minutes
documentation,
have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
not supported by adequate documentation, including his CRA, and that his commutation should be denied today. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. We do have, Chairperson, if it would be okay with you, we have a brand new card that was just submitted for support. Would you like to go back and do that now, or would you like them to wait till the end?
We can go ahead and take that.
Okay. Barbara Chavez, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute or press *6 by telephone. Barbara Chavez, if you're with us, we can't hear you. Go ahead.
Hello, do you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, I am here in support of Jessie Milo. I was trying to make it in person to speak. So I am Barbara Chavez. I'm the Senior Outside Policy Fellow at the Ella Baker Center for Human Rights. This fellowship, in this fellowship, it's a statewide program that employs and trains currently incarcerated and formerly incarcerated people as policy advocates and leaders, and helps us prepare for the professional world. Jessie Milo is one of our inside fellows, which means he is actively working in this role, contributing to legislative campaigns, building policy proposals, and mentoring others. Jessie shows the qualities of a true leader: integrity, reliability, humility, and a deep commitment to others. He is consistent, thoughtful, and always focused on lifting up the people around him. One of the things that I do as the Outside Policy Fellow is I check in with the Inside Fellows weekly. And this opportunity gives us a chance to build and grow and work together. And it gives Jessie the opportunity to even advocate for himself, where he has shown that he is selfless. Recently, he advocated for somebody else going to board that was denied because, and he was an older gentleman and had dialysis problems, and Jessie was so troubled by this. So all he could think about was that gentleman instead of even what he's going through. That's just one example of many that you heard today. Jessie's discipline and transformation and vision do prepare him for a successful reentry, and I'm here just to personally offer that I'm committed to supporting his transition, to take him to get his vital documents that we all need, our birth certificate, Social Security card, so he could be prepared to work. As I mentor him, I'm willing to mentor him. Just in closing, I want to say that Jessie has shown that he is prepared not only
Your
to
2 minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
and he'll be ready for here. And I'm here to urge you to please give him the opportunity. Thank you, to go to board.
Thank you. Chairperson, I have no more speakers on the list either for support or in opposition.
The next case is Lawrence Perry, number H41599, item 29. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. For people who have signed up to speak in support of Lawrence Perry, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button or by pressing *5 on your telephone. This will help us enable your microphone. The first speaker I have is Kermit Perry. Kermit Perry, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute yourself or press *6 by telephone.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. My name is Kermit Perry. I am Lawrence Perry's uncle. I have the privilege of speaking on behalf of the family. Mr. Perry has family members who are prepared, willing, and able to provide support in any way possible once he reintegrates into society. I am grateful for this opportunity to express my support for my nephew, and I am immensely proud of the man he has become. And I've witnessed his remorse for this crime. I've witnessed his transformation and accomplishments over the past decade that I have observed personally and have been made aware of by others. Lawrence has the opportunity to follow in the footsteps of his father grandfather, and myself, pursuing a career in the electrical trade. Upon hearing of his assignment to the electrical department at Lancaster Prison, I am pleased to offer him employment with my company, which is A&C Electrical. As pastor of Three Peace Christian Ministries in Norco, California, I am actively involved in the community. Notably, there are 2 homeless shelter outreach ministries, which we serve every month, and various other events throughout the year that I know that he would be a great assistant, great help to. Additionally, I serve as a chaplain for the County of Riverside Sheriff's Department, and my unwavering commitment has always been to provide support to those in need. My wife, Sandra, and I reside in Eastvale, California, and we would be honored to offer him a place of residence if needed as he reintegrates into society. I truly appreciate the great strides Lawrence has made and continues to make, and I thank each of you for allowing me to address you this morning on behalf of my nephew, Lawrence Bernard Perry. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Ellie Shin. Your microphone is enabled. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello, my name is Ellie Shin. I'm the Ministry Director at Testimony Ministries. I know Mr. Perry. He is a student at our TUMI program that runs out of Lancaster Prison. TUMI is, we offer bachelor level theology courses, which Mr. Perry has been committed to. It's a 4-year program. Through this program, we have seen not just the commitment that Mr. Perry has to growing in his faith, but also the role that he has in the incarcerated church. He serves as a pastor. He serves as a chaplain to his fellow peers. He often leads the group in spiritual disciplines and spiritual practices, and we have just been so moved and challenged by how he has grown as not only a participant in our program, but a co-leader that we can rely on. And we also provide, through the TUMI program, he also has an opportunity to go on and pursue master's programs at the Fuller Theological Seminary if he were given an opportunity for freedom. Testimony Ministries also has transitional homes. We offer reentry member support, and we also offer internships through our program, which would all be services that we would be fully available for Mr. Perry if he would be considered for reentry. Yeah, we just want to express our full support and for Mr. Perry's commutation and eligibility to go to board. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next speaker is Stephen Green. I see you're with us. Your microphone is enabled. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for allowing me to speak this morning. My name is Stephen Green, and I'm a 3rd-year PhD student in Criminology, Law, and Society at UC Irvine. I served 28 years in CDCR under a life without sentence before my sentence was commuted before Governor Brown, and I successfully navigated the pro board process through Commissioner Castro. Because I have lived this process, I know firsthand the depth of transformation it demands. It is not easy to confront the harm you've caused to many decades of discipline and to consistently demonstrate change. Yet, Mr. Lawrence Perry has done that. Mr. Perry has engaged fully in all the rehabilitative programs that have been offered to him. He has maintained years of clear conduct. He's taken responsibilities for his actions and demonstrate insight that this board would expect. Just as important, he has a strong reentry plan, stable housing, employment opportunities, and a committed support network. Among those ready to stand with him is a network of men and women who once were sentenced to life without parole and other former lifers, all waiting to embrace him, provide mentorship, guidance, and community as he reenters society. His transformation embodies the purpose of this process to recognize when a person is ready to return and contribute positive to our communities. I respectfully ask you to consider Mr. Perry for a commutation. And thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you. The next speaker is Brandon Baker. I see you're with us. Your microphone's enabled.
Yes. Yes.
First and foremost, good morning. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm here to speak on behalf of Mr. Lawrence Perry. I've known him for approximately 5 years now, and I'm also formerly incarcerated. I spent 25 years in prison and was found suitable by the Honorable Commissioner Minor. But I would say that it wouldn't be possible without people like Lawrence Perry, who was a leader in the community there at Lancaster on A facility. When I first met him, he really showed me what remorse is. And he also just showed me how to live a life of amends by giving back to the community within the incarcerated population, but also the community within the world. And so I learned about mutual empowerment because he showed me that everyone that we meet has the ability to not only change and transform their lives, but to change and transform their communities. So the life that I'm living right now is a life of amends, it's a life of transformation. And people like Mr. Perry pouring into me allowed me the opportunity to be the man that I am right now today. Currently, I work for Compassion Prison Project as a facilitation trainer, also work for Pathway to Kinship, and I also have internships with Testimony Ministries, Theater Workers Project, and I'm currently a student at Cal State Los Angeles. And I could assure you that Mr. Perry would have the same resources and opportunities that I have if given another chance. I do not believe that everyone deserves a second chance, but I believe that everyone deserves a chance to earn a second chance. And the people that are going to determine that are you, honorable members of the parole board. And I just fully trust that you would have an open mind to what Mr. Perry brings to the table and the change that he will bring to the community upon his release. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. The next speaker card is for Jamala Taylor. Jamala, your microphone's enabled. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Or press *6 if you're joining us by telephone. Jamala Taylor, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you. We will circle back to Jamala. Michael Altamirano. Go ahead and unmute yourself or press *6 by telephone. Michael, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you.
Hi, could you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Michael Altamirano. I'm from Alliance for Community Empowerment, and we're in support of Mr. Perry. We've been in contact with him for a number of months now, and he's reached out on his own asking for help. We have experience with helping people in the reentry process, specifically with ex-lifers and long-term offenders. We have the House of Ruth, which is specifically for those coming home from long-term incarceration. I myself was impacted by the justice system, and I was able to manage and navigate my way out with the services of the House of Ruth. So I firsthand know how to navigate that process, and I would be at his service. Also, I know he has housing plans with his family, but as we know, things change and things happen. So as a contingency plan or a backup plan or whatever it is that happens to not work out for him, the house would be available to him. We also have the sector program, which is the skills and experience for the careers of tomorrow. And that's for trades and vocations. So should the trade that he chose not work out, we have other options he could choose from. We also have coaching and mentoring here. We have anger management that's court approved, parenting classes that are court approved, gang intervention and prevention. So pretty much touching on everything that he would need on this reentry process, we can help with. The other services that we provide would be available to him, and that's pretty much job training, advocacy, and domestic violence. The housing process actually has groups 5 days a week, which is from 6 to 8, and those are intensive inpatient classes. He would be able to partake in those should he join the program. And like I said, I know he has a plan to go with his family, but should that not work out, we do have open availability for Mr. Perry And like I said, he reached out on his own to us.
Your 2 minutes
asking
have
for help.
elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
So any help that he would need navigating the reentry process, we're available to help him. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to try one more time for Jamala Taylor. I see you're here and your microphone is enabled. Go ahead and click the microphone icon to unmute yourself. Jamala Taylor, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you. All right, Rebecca Weicker, I see you're with us and your microphone is enabled. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Thank you. The first thing I want to say is in the last person we heard about, there was no mention of victims or victim impact. And the work that I did specifically with Mr. Perry was around that. In 2018, I first met Mr. Perry. I was working as the program director of Healing Dialogue and Action, and he was a participant in our victim impact restorative justice class at Lancaster on Facility B. He was an active and engaged participant, but I was aware that he had a protective persona, sharing more about his accomplishments than really about his accountability and feelings. Over the years, as I continued to know him, I was struck by the deep transformation, accountability, and insight that he has now demonstrated. When I connected with him again as he was on Facility A, I've continued to work with him and see that he is an empathetic person, a good listener. He's an incredible role model and support for the men in his group. And most importantly, he demonstrates deep insight, accountability, and remorse into his life crime. I have facilitated many groups in prison and observed the way people in leadership conduct themselves. And I really appreciate Mr. Perry's dedication, his humility, and empathy. And I believe that should Mr. Perry have the opportunity to be to go before the board and be released, he would be an extraordinary force for non-harm, for protection in our community, and I would welcome him as a facilitator to continue the work that we do to support survivors and people responsible for harm. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Tyson Atlas. I can see you're with us. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Tyson Atlas. I'm a former life without possibly a parole person who was released 5 months ago. I would like to speak on behalf of Mr. Lawrence Perry. I met Mr. Perry approximately 8 years ago while at Lancaster State Prison. From the very beginning, what stood out to me was his unwavering commitment to growth, accountability, and service to others. Despite carrying a sentence of life without the possibility of parole, Mr. Perry chose not to be defined by his past. Instead, he made a conscious decision to live each day as the best version of himself. Mr. Perry is not only a father and a student, but also an accomplished author and skilled dog trainer. But more than his titles, his character speaks volumes. He consistently demonstrates unconditional positive regard for others. He has celebrated the success of his peers, including my own sentence reduction, with genuine joy, even while facing the reality of his own sentence. That level of selflessness and integrity is rare. Mr. Perry has served as a mentor and a source of inspiration to countless individuals, including myself. His transformation is not performative. It is deeply rooted, consistent, and evident in his daily conduct. If granted the opportunity for commutation and parole consideration, Mr. Perry will not be alone. I now work for a nonprofit organization called the Prison Way. We support individuals in the reentry process into society. We will help him navigate just some of the challenges and employment support issues that come up, and just mentorship in general, and also have support groups for formerly incarcerated individuals. In closing, I will respectfully ask that you consider Mr. Perry not for who he was, but for the man he has worked so hard to become. He is ready to be a positive force in our communities, not just in theory, but in action. Thank you guys for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Jack McFadden, I see you're with us. Your microphone is enabled. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Good morning. My name is Jack McFadden. I'm programs manager for the Prison Way. We work on prison reentry. I'm a former life without parole person, and after listening to everybody, I think this is what I want to focus on, is I understand what it's like to have life without parole and how hard it is to watch other people go home. One of the things that struck me about Mr. Perry, who has been my friend for about 10 years now, is while I had my commutation, he didn't change. One of the things that struck me about him was he never gave up hope. He truly believed he was going to die in prison. And yet every day he was out there helping people. He out there believing in other people, pushing them to do better, pushing them to look at what they had done, not just what you're doing in prison, but never forget what you did to get sent to prison. His remorse was so profound that it used to affect me almost daily. He would always talk about never forget what we did to be sent here to prison. Without considering all the people that we have hurt, we can't consider how to help ourselves. Every day we used to talk. We were both in the dog program, and his inspiration, while knowing that I was going to get to go home after my commutation, never stopped his smile, never stopped his belief in God, and never stopped his belief that everybody deserves a chance to go home. And I want to make sure that everybody understands it's not just about everybody should have a chance to go home. I believe everybody has a chance to earn their way home. I believe Mr. Perry has earned his chance to present himself to the board and earn his way home. I'd like to thank you for your time and your consideration with this, and I would ask you to please consider him for a commutation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I do have a name, Edwin Cruz, that just got added. Edwin Cruz, if you're with us, go ahead and put up your hand or press *5 by telephone so that we can find you and enable your microphone. You can go ahead and unmute yourself with the microphone icon or by pressing *6 by telephone. Edwin Cruz. Oh, I see they've just come into the lobby. If you'll bear with me, Chairperson, for one moment. Edwin Cruz, go ahead and unmute yourself. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Thank you very much. Yes, I would like to, my name is Edwin Cruz. I work for a community-based organization, the Prism Way. I'm currently a peer support specialist, helping individuals who are reentering society after incarceration, transition back into society and be, law-abiding citizens. I myself am formerly incarcerated. I served 17 years on a life without parole sentence. I've been released since November of 2024. And after being resentenced to court, I personally know Lawrence Perry since 2017. We were both incarcerated together in Lancaster Prison, where he was already facilitating programs. He was already mentoring youth. Him and I actually facilitated several classes together, including a domestic violence class where we taught people about the cycle of violence and creating relapse prevention plans and just understanding how important that type of rehabilitative work is. Lawrence Perry is somebody who has completely transformed their lives from the person he was when he committed his crimes. He is somebody who is very caring, very attentive, somebody who really follows all of the rules and regulations and who just continually wants to make changes, make amends, and help other individuals better themselves. I think he is somebody that deserves to have a second look at, and given the opportunity to present himself before the board, show his transformation, his rehabilitation, his remorse, and be given him an opportunity to re-enter society. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'd like to give one more chance to Jamala Taylor. Jamala, we can see that you're here. Your microphone is enabled. You can click the little microphone icon up at the top of your screen next to the red button. Jamala Taylor, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you. Chairperson?
It still appears Mr. Taylor is unable to connect. So we're going to have to go and, Mr. Taylor, you have an opportunity after item 43 to make any comment on a case on today's agenda. Moderator, are there any other speakers in support of Lawrence Perry?
There are not, Chairperson.
We will now take speakers in opposition to Lawrence Perry.
Thank you, Chairperson. There are no speakers on my list in opposition for Lawrence Perry.
The next case is April Pitts, WE 4637, item 30. Moderator, please call for speakers in support. We do have a speaker card here in person for Jim Ketz.
Good morning, James Kester, to speak in support of Ms. Pitts. I'm in kind of a unique situation. I've known Ms. Pitts since probably 2010. I was the appointed appellate attorney on her original appeal. The thing that strikes me listening to the other people speaking is the experience that they've had that goes back 3, 2, or 1 year in terms of their experience about the rehabilitative progress that their persons have made. I'm unique in that through my continuing representation of Ms. Pitts, from the very beginning, when I first represented her, I was moved by her immediate commitment to her rehabilitation. She didn't go 4, 5, 6 years in prison thinking, what am I going to do? From the moment I started representing her, she was committed to programming herself, to educating herself, to really working on a rehabilitative program. She has continued that commitment to her rehabilitation, even to today, obviously. I've kept in touch with her, even though my appointment expired a long time ago. I regularly receive updates on her progress through her education and her school. I used to visit her at the Women's Institution. I haven't actually been there for 4 or 5 years, but I still receive the updates. And that continuing and consistent commitment to her rehabilitation, I believe, warrants serious consideration on all of your parts in a recommendation for her commutation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. For those who have signed up to speak in support of April Pitts, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button or by pressing *5 on your telephone. This will help us to enable your microphone. The first speaker I have is Demetra Daniels. Demetra, I believe your microphone is enabled. Please go ahead and unmute yourself or press *6 by telephone. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak. Demetra Daniels, I can see that your phone, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Hi. My name is Demetra Daniels. I'm April's sister. We share the same mother but have separate fathers. From birth, we were both placed in numerous foster homes due to our mother being schizophrenic and I remember a lot of abuse began when we were placed with April's paternal grandmother. There was a lot of abuse. April's father and uncles were gang members. There were a lot of drugs and violence around. We were beaten a lot and sometimes went hungry. There were other children in the home and adults they would make us fight with. I ran away about 12 years old and April ran away a couple years later. We ended up together again at our maternal grandmother's, where there was also a lot of drug use and abuse. We were taught to steal food and things we needed to survive. We eventually ran away from that home at separate times. April ran away with a much older man who abused her. When I did see her, she would have black eyes and bruises. their relationship was very violent. I didn't see April much next time I saw her. She was in jail for this crime that she committed. I also got in trouble with stealing from stores. We were taught to be violent and to steal to survive. I believe that the abuse impacted both of us and our decisions as adults. As I got older, I realized I had to make changes. I did years of counseling, anger management to make changes. I'm a mother, and I've been driving school buses for special needs children for 10 years. I have a stable home, and I'm willing to support April if she is released in any way that I can. April has changed her life as well. She is rehabilitated. She is not the same person as she was when she committed these crimes. April is very remorseful for the crime she committed and the pain that she inflicted. April has done numerous group therapy programs while incarcerated and has received 2 bachelor's degrees and is working on her master's. April has made better choices while incarcerated and stayed out of trouble and stayed out of trouble and violence. April understands that what she did was wrong, and if given a second chance, I believe she will make better choices.
Thank you.
Hello?
Yes, thank you. The next speaker we have is Betty Vitato. Betty, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute yourself. Or you can press *6 by telephone. I can see that you're with us and that your microphone is enabled. You might have to click the little microphone icon at the top of your screen by the red button. Betty, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you. We'll circle back to Betty.
Thank you, moderator.
Yes, we'll circle back to Betty. Susan Bustamante, go ahead and unmute yourself, Susan. Susan, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you. We'll circle back to Susan. Tammy Cooper Garvin, go ahead and unmute yourself by pressing *6. I can see you joined us by telephone.
Yes, my name is Tammy Cooper Garvin. I'm the program director of 5 Keys Home Free Transitional Housing. I was once in LWAP. I was commuted and went to board one time, and David Long was my commissioner. I'm writing respectfully and requesting consideration of the commutation of April Pitts, who has been incarcerated for the past 16 years. During her incarceration, April has taken significant steps towards personal growth, accountability, and rehabilitation. 16 years is a considerable amount of time in which she has had the opportunity to reflect deeply on her past, accept responsibility, and make meaningful changes in her life. She has demonstrated that she is no longer the same person she was at the time of her offense. April has shown genuine commitment to rehabilitation through getting her GED, 2 AAs, going to school right now to get her her BA, his vocational training. And she has worked hard to transform her life, not only for her own future, but also to give back positively to those around her. Governor Newsom, your leadership has consistently reflected a belief in the second chances and the power of redemption. April's case represents exactly the kind of transformation that commutation is meant to recognize. At this point, she has served a sentence long enough to reflect the seriousness of her offense. She has proven her readiness to reenter society as a responsible, contributing member of society. I ask that you commute April Pitts. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to give another chance to Susan Bustamante. Susan, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute yourself or press *6 by telephone. Susan, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you. I can see that your phone is unmuted. Now it's muted again. You might have to call in, ma'am, after all of the other cases are completed. We still can't hear you.
Yeah, moderator, let's give one more opportunity to Ms. Vitato. Looks like she's still trying to connect.
Betty Vitato or Vitato. I can see you.
We cannot hear you.
You
Please
c-
unmute your microphone by pressing the microphone button.
It's at
Pressing
the
star
top of
six.
the microphone icon at the top of your screen next to the red button. There's a little microphone icon. If you click it. Oh,
Moderator, we'll have to circle back to everyone at the end. Again, you will have an opportunity at the end of item number 43.
oh yes,
Sorry.
go ahead.
This is Susan. Can you hear? Can I go?
Yes, go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I am calling in support of April Pitts. I am also a former life without the possibility of parole. I served 31 years and did go to board once under Commissioner Montez back in 2018. And I am the reentry coach for Home Free, which is the program that April has been accepted to. April has done amazing. She's done college. She takes responsibility. I have gone into CCWF and met her at several events there that she's been a participant of. And she's completed like anger management, criminal addiction, addictive thinking, behavior, and thinking and behavior, building self-esteem. There's so many things, groups that she has been a part of that I am proud of her, how well she's doing and how she is giving back to her community and helping other people also prepare for board. So through this process, I believe everybody deserves a second chance. I got mine, and I believe others deserve to have a second chance. And I believe she deserves this chance. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairperson. There do not appear to be any more speakers in support of April Pitts on my list. Unless, oh, we have Betty. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Oh, thank God. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Betty Vitato. I'm a retired teacher, and after having taught in school, in the regular school systems for over 40 years at all grade levels. And one of my greatest joys was working with the at-risk students who had made poor choices in life, students who had probation officers, and just watching our relationship grow as they learned from their lessons. I'm still not done. Even though I'm retired, I still work as a substitute teacher, and my preference is the at-risk students. There's a joy in watching young people grow, as I have seen in April. April has never truly denied participating and making the wrong choice in life. As Robert Frost once says, right, two roads diverged in the wood, and I took the one that's traveled by, which is something that we find most of the time with young people. Listening to everyone who's spoken, and especially April's sister in the background, I can understand making that wrong choice. And I think that April has paid greatly for making that choice. But at the same time, she's engaged herself in activities that is promoting her intellectual growth and helping her to return to society and make a difference in the lives of other young people. I say that because I also have a business, which is Transformation, in which I work with young people. I have my degree in health psychology, master's in health psychology and education, which is helpful. April, I am so proud of what she has done by going back to school and desiring to even work in that field with me and helping other young people to make decisions. I know my time is almost up and I took a lot of time with the mic, but I really do wish that you would consider whatever it is that you can do to release her. She's gotten her two AA degrees, and she's on her way to get her bachelor's.
Your 2 minutes have elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
Okay, please consider having April to re-enter the society, and I will be there to help her all the way. Thank you.
Thank you. A chairperson, now there appear to be no more speakers in support of April Pitts.
Thank you, moderator. We will now take speakers in opposition to April Pitts.
Chairperson, I have no speakers on my list in opposition for April Pitts.
The next case is Miguel Rodriguez, H23569, item 31. Moderator, please call for speakers and support.
Thank you, Chairperson. We have no speakers on the list for support of of Miguel Rodriguez.
We will now take speakers in opposition to Miguel Rodriguez.
We do have a couple of those. Tasha Sarouche, I can see that you're with us. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Good morning. Inmate Rodriguez was found in possession of methamphetamine on July 20th, 2025, only because the officer refused to believe his lie that, quote, I was just going to pee, and searched him. He committed not just an RVR, but a violation of the law. He committed a felony violation of Penal Code 4573.6. He also committed felony perjury by lying at his last board hearing about his sobriety date, extensively describing how he maintains his sobriety, stating he graduated in the AA-NA 12-step Catholic recovery programming, stating they taught him to be honest, although he admitted, quote, I cannot remember the full step of the 12 steps, but I remember the principles of the steps. And I have to be honest, quote, I'm an alcoholic, I'm an addict, and I'm a liar. He outright told the board he is a liar. He even lied about his last gang involvement, first claiming he ended in 2011, and only upon repeated questioning about the confidential memorandum did he finally admit it was 2015. This inmate also claimed a sobriety date of 2015, miraculously coinciding with his last positive drug test. This is yet another example of why CDCR should reinstitute random drug testing and ensure all correctional officers write up inmates for use. Too many times inmates describe an unwritten policy between guards and inmates of, we won't report you, we don't want to see your drug use, keep it in your cells, thus giving a false picture of sobriety. Methamphetamine use is illegal, and the fact that he had the drugs indicates gang associations in order to buy the drugs. This inmate, despite warning the board he was a liar, despite other boards giving him 10-year denials for lying, still manipulated his way into this grant. Rescission and a referral for prosecution should be the sanctions for such dishonest and illegal behavior. Thank you.
Thank you. For those who signed up to speak in opposition to Miguel Rodriguez, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button or by pressing *5 on your telephone. This will help us enable your microphone. I have a speaker, Dawn Durenbos or Durenbos. Dawn, if you're with us, go ahead and raise your hand in Teams or by pressing *5 on your telephone so we can enable your microphone. I'm not able to see her information on our current list of attendees, Chairperson. But we can circle back to her.
Any other speakers in opposition?
There are not.
The next case is Manuel VASQUEZ, V24793, item 32. Moderator, please call for speakers and support.
Thank you, Chairperson. People who signed up to speak in support of Manuel VASQUEZ, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button or by pressing *5 on your telephone. This will help us to enable your microphone. The first speaker I have is Lisa Darden. Lisa, I can see you're with us. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Your 2 minutes starts when you begin to speak.
Thank you, Commissioners. I represented Mr. VASQUEZ at his July hearing and I submitted a writing. The core issue here is restitution evasion. When did it stop and how many people was it? During his parole hearing, however, he was never asked, how did you pay for your drug debts? Did those drug debts go on JPay? These are critical questions left out of the equation, which led to an incomplete understanding and probably why we're here today. During the investigation, it was found that there was at least 28 IPs on his JPay between 2010 and 23. Again, Mr. VASQUEZ did not figure his drug debts into this question. So yes, it would be highly likely to have at least an additional 13 IPs found. During his term, he would manipulate his family and friends to pay his drug debts through JPay. His sober date is December 29th, 2019. That's 2 days shy of a decade of drug debts. As far as his December 4th, 2023 incident, he simply forgot about that one-off because he was nervous, not dishonest. What's significant about Mr. Vasquez is he more or less stopped this behavior in 22 prior to when it was put on BPH's agenda, again, except for this lapse in 23. While restitution evasion reflects criminal thinking, does it truly indicate current dangerousness, or is it just that IPs want their full access of their canteen funds? The standard is not perfection, yet it is unclear what criteria are now being applied, as that does not seem to address current dangerousness. Unfortunately, this scrutiny is only applied to lifers. It's not determinants or LWOPers who can continue evasion without consequence. BPH's response to revoking grants is a disproportionate reaction to a situation that is in large part a result of CDCR's own policies. Mr. Vasquez completed extensive rehabilitation, and this non-dangerous behavior 2 years ago should not justify revoking his grant. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. If you would like to, we have two names. We cannot find them on the list. So Ana Garcia, if you're with us by telephone, please press *5 to raise your hand so that we can enable your microphone, or raise your hand in Teams. Ana Vasquez, similarly, please raise your hand by telephone by pressing *5, or raise your hand in Teams so we can enable your microphone. They might have to, we might have to circle back to them at the end as well. We have no more speakers in support for Manuel Vasquez.
Thank you, moderator. We will now take speakers in opposition to Manuel Vasquez.
Thank you, Chairperson. We do have Linda Dunn from Riverside County. I know she's already here. Linda, go ahead.
Good morning again, everyone. At the beginning of every suitability hearing, every commissioner tells the inmate, please be honest with us, tell us everything, that's important. And all of us trust that the inmates will do so, especially the panels. In this case, Commissioner Long said that just like every other commissioner does. And during the hearing, when Deputy Commissioner Lamb asked Mr. Vasquez about restitution fraud, she asked specific questions. Have you done it? When did it start? When did it end? And how many people were involved? And he said, it stopped in 2022, and there were 10 to 15. Then they asked for an investigation after they granted him parole. The investigation, which you have a copy of, reveals that he wasn't truthful when he told them 10 or 15. It was 28. And he wasn't truthful when he said 2022. It was December 4th, 2023. So I guess the question is, are you going to allow inmates to lie to panels and then reward them with a grant? The answer, I hope, is no. He knew the truth. He decided to minimize the truth. The investigation revealed that he lied about those facts. It's pretty critical. So we ask today that Mr. Vasquez not be rewarded for his minimization and his failure to be upfront with the panel. We ask that instead the grant be rescinded. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Chairperson, there are no more speakers for Manuel Vasquez.
The next case is Robert Barber, T09815, item 33. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. I do not have any speakers on my list either in support of or in opposition to Robert Barber.
Thank you. The next case is Matthew Kroll, F49821, item 34. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. I do not have speakers on my list for either in support of or in opposition to Matthew Kroll.
Thank you. We move on to the next case. And that case is Aaron Little, V74257, item 35. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. People who signed up to speak in support of Aaron Little, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button or by pressing *5 on your telephone. This will help us enable your microphone. The first speaker I have is Darnell Walcott. Darnell Walcott, if you're with us, go ahead and unmute yourself in Teams or by pressing *6 on your telephone to unmute yourself. I can see we have a hand raised. Go ahead and press *6 to unmute your telephone. Your microphone is enabled. Mr. Walcott, you must press *6 on your telephone so it'll unmute you. Darnell Walcott, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you.
Yes.
Oh, now
Hello?
go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, board. My name is Darnell Walcott. I'm a law student at John Jay College in New York City. I'm a U.S. Navy veteran. I have worked 18 years for the New York Army. I'll retire soon. I'm here for my cousin, Aaron Little, who's like a little brother to me. Almost half of our family, 97%, live in the East Coast in New York and South Carolina. Aaron, his brother, and his mother grew up in California, far from us. Without family support and without a father figure at home, my aunt worked hard to provide. But Aaron lacked the guidance that a young man needs. Like many in that situation, he sort of accepted in the wrong crowd. At age 16, he was incarcerated, still a boy, thrown into a harsh and dangerous prison environment. He has now spent over 20 years behind bars. But Aaron has changed. He went from a troubled inmate to a model inmate, lowering his classification and setting a positive example for others. That shows growth, responsibility, and discipline. He has already proven he's ready for a second chance. Aaron has served more than enough time for mistakes he has made as a teenager. Keeping him locked away after 2 decades does not make the community safer. It only wastes the life of a man who has grown and matured. He is no longer that lost boy who went in. He is the man ready to reunite with his family and live a productive life. I respectfully urge you to recognize this transformation and grant him the chance he has earned. If granted, I ask respectfully that the board provides him like mental health support and employment sources once he's released. That'd be all. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Mr. Chairperson, I have no more speakers in support of Aaron Little.
We will now take speakers in opposition to Aaron Little.
We have one speaker, Tasha Sarouche from Orange County. I see you're with us. Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you. Inmate Little didn't admit until confronted with facts at his hearing that he had committed a felony with his then wife to file for unemployment benefits to the tune of $8,000 in July of 2020. November of 2022, he allowed someone to put money on his books to avoid restitution. Less than 1 year ago was his last rule breaking when he admitted he was manipulating his brother to post for him on social media, page 49 of the transcript. None of these were mentioned to Dr. Killian when he received his moderate risk, lower end rating. The doctor even noted the short rehabilitation period, which was clearly even shorter than he was aware of, as a concern with the inmate's overall lengthy criminal lifestyle. Until the investigation unit corroborated his statement, there was a corpus delicti issue with the prosecution. The panel should be concerned that the inmate committed a felony in the past 5 years. Just because he admitted it does not make it less of a felony, and admitting it should not be a mitigating factor. This is not a school child where we are trying to teach honesty, and that honesty will be rewarded despite their bad actions. This is someone who beat an innocent victim mercilessly, causing him to need, to this day, round-the-clock nursing care to handle even his basic needs. This inmate is a drug addict, was a gang member, was using substances that we know of as recently as 2021. Since his last hearing, he has numerous documented and undocumented rules violations, from tattoos, cell phone, substance abuse, felony fraud, and manipulation of his brother to post on social media, utilizing criminal thinking. There should be no excuse and leniency for someone in prison manipulating someone out of prison to commit a felony or do his bidding. This inmate should have his grant rescinded and be referred for prosecution. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairperson. I have no more speakers in opposition for Aaron Little.
The next case is Sergio Argueta, F34042, item 36. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
People who are signed up to speak in support of Sergio Argueta, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button or pressing *5 on your telephone. This will help us enable your microphone. The first speaker that we have on the list is Mark Wasakas.
Thank you, Wasak. Good morning, commissioners. I did submit a written statement, so I won't repeat that. I will just note that I have been working with Mr. Argueta for over 2 years. I was with him at his October 2023 denial and again in his May 2025 grant. I would ask the board to affirm the grant and maintain that Mr. Argueta is suitable, notwithstanding the governor's concerns, which I think were addressed in the hearing. Thank you.
The next person that we have in position support of Sergio is Elizabeth Arellano. If you are on video, please unmute yourself by pressing the microphone button. If you are on the phone, please unmute yourself by pressing *6.
Hello.
Your time will begin. Thank you.
My name is Elizabeth Arellano, and I am speaking in support of my brother Sergio Argueta. I would like to take this opportunity to highlight his growth and rehabilitation over the past 14 years of his incarceration. My brother has used this time to not only reflect on his past, but to pursue a path of personal and professional development. I do apologize for the emotions. Throughout the years, Sergio has matured significantly. He has taken accountability for his actions and has shown a sincere commitment to becoming a better person. Sergio is and has been enrolled in educational programs. He works hard to expand his knowledge and prepare for a career that will allow him to contribute a positive aspect to society upon his release. Sergio consistently pursues academic and vocational training, demonstrating a strong work ethic and genuine desire to reintegrate into the community as a responsible and productive individual. He has also maintained strong family ties, which have been a source of support and motivation throughout his journey. I do believe my brother Sergio deserves the opportunity to prove that he is no longer the person he once was. He has shown through his actions, his education, and his attitude that he is ready to rejoin society and make a positive impact. I do fully support his release and stand by his commitment to continue growing, learning, and contributing. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak.
Thank you. The next speaker that we have in support of Marco Avalos is Mark Bahinian.
Moderator, we're on Sergio Argueta.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have no more speakers in favor of Sergio Argueta.
Thank you. We will now take speakers in opposition to Sergio Argueta.
Chairman, I have no speakers listed in opposition of Sergio Argueta at this time.
Okay, thank you. Before we move to item number 37, we are going to take a 10-minute break. The time is 10:36. Let's reconvene at 10:45. The next case is Marco Avalos, J46795, item 37. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
People who are signed up to speak in support of Marco Avalos, please raise your hand using the Microsoft Teams button or pressing *5 on your telephone. This will help us to enable your microphone. The first speaker that we have is Mark Vahinian. If you're on video, please unmute yourself by pressing the microphone button. If you're on the phone, please unmute yourself by pressing *6. Your 2 minutes.
Can you hear?
Begin.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Your 2
Great.
minutes will begin.
Thank you very much. My name is Mark Vahanian. I'm the Executive Director of Pathway to Kinship. We're a community-based reentry organization. I've known Marcos Avalos for about 2 years, and I know that Marcos has sincere remorse for the harm that he's done and the harm that cannot be undone. My heart goes out to all who've been impacted by his actions. My experience of Marcos Avalos is he's undergone a hard-won transformation and is now a remarkable person. I believe that the best way Marcos Avalos can honor those he's harmed and the community is to now affirm the decision that's already been made at his previous hearing, that Marcos Avalos has and will continue to demonstrate his suitability for parole. And if affirmed, Pathway to Kinship and myself will provide ongoing relapse prevention support for Marcos with 12-step meetings, employment support, and opportunities to give back to the community. Thank you for the opportunity to speak on behalf of Marcos Avalos.
Thank you very much. The next person we have is Maria Fabiola Avalos. If you're on video, please unmute yourself. If you're on the phone, please unmute yourself by pressing. Yes, you have 2 minutes as soon as you begin to speak.
Yes, good morning, Commission. Thank you for the. I know Marco, he's my brother-in-law. I know him since we were in high school. I married his brother, his younger brother, 35 years ago. And I've seen all this change in my brother-in-law, Marco. He's been a good uncle, a good friend of mine, and a good brother, and a good son. My mother-in-law is almost 80 years old, and she's so happy right now, waiting for her son to come out. And she be praying, and I've seen her praying so much. We go to church. We serve a group in church that we help people with problems with drugs and alcohol, families, providing food, and all the church is waiting for him to come out because we know his testimony will help a lot of people, a lot of young fellows. That we have a church that are going through a lot of problems, and I know how my brother went through a lot of things in his life, and I know his testimony will help a lot. So I would ask for you guys to consider Marco to come out and give him a second chance and be with her family. I have my own business in cleaning and housekeeping, and he has employment with me, and my husband and my son, they're professional cleaners working for the union, and they also ask their manager for work, and they say yes, so they're waiting for him to come out. So I really appreciate that you guys are doing this for him, and I just want to say thank you very much for this chance for me to speak on behalf of my family, and we're so happy and praying for God and for my brother-in-law to come out soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next speaker that we have is Stephanie Avalos. If you're on video, please unmute yourself by pressing the microphone button. If you're on the phone, please unmute yourself by pressing *6. If you're trying to speak, we cannot hear you.
Hi, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, your 2 minutes will begin as soon as you start.
Okay, hello, good morning. My name is Stephanie Avalos, and I am Marcos Avalos' niece. My uncle has been incarcerated for 29 years, and while I acknowledge his past mistakes, I firmly believe in his sincerity and dedication to change. I have seen and heard the progress he continues to make, and I can testify to his reformed character and his commitment to becoming a contributing member of society. My uncle has, unfortunately, a wrong fork in his past that led him into his current situation now. The human potential for transformation is significant, and I firmly believe that has undergone such a transformation. He has shown remorse, taken responsibility for his actions, and exhibited a dedication commitment to personal growth. He has applied himself to spiritual and educational avenues, which I have seen firsthand, helping him grow into an individual ready for integration into society. And I do believe my uncle has been in there for 29 years, and like my mother had mentioned, he does have our support financially, emotionally, and he will have work and get closer to God, his relationship. I've seen his transformation in there, and I thank you guys for this opportunity for giving us, to letting him speak on his behalf, and hopefully soon he'll be back home with us and reunited with his mom, my grandmother, and my father, his brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Chairperson, there are no more speakers in support of Marco Avalos.
Moderator will now take speakers in opposition to Marco Avalos.
Chairperson, we have no speakers signed up in opposition of Marco Avalos.
Thank you, moderator. The next case is Richard Cortina, AE 0586, item 38. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Yes, we have Lolan Maltre. I believe they are in person.
Yes, they are.
Good morning. My name is Loland Moutre. I'm a prison minister at Folsom State Prison on the Saturday Seventh-day Adventist services, and I've done that since 2007. I'm also the finance officer for Blade of Hope, a nonprofit transitional project. Richard Cortina did not ask me to come here today, nor to speak on his behalf. He only showed me the letter by Governor Newsom. I have known Richard for as long as he has been at Folsom State Prison. He has attended my service every week during that time. He has helped me with sign in and out for the 30, 40, 70 attendees coming to my service, depending on the program we have. I asked him to speak from the front during the Depression and Anxiety Recovery Program, helping those in attendance to use the cognitive behavioral therapy principles he teaches in his own facilitated SELF course. How to control our behavior when an activating event rocks your world. Take time to consider the result before reacting one way or the other. Richard has learned how to look for warning signs that could trigger a bad reaction to an activating event. Richard helped design the SELF program and facilitates the main class. The SELF course is designed to help inmates to understand themselves, to dig deep into their past, to see what was the trigger they learned early in life that manifested itself in their crime. Richard has helped me to better understand some of my own events in my life, and I look back at my life. Richard has he's the only second inmate that I've met that talks about these things. Richard is always even-keeled. When asked his response, it was a good week. Every week is good. In fact, this last Saturday, I told him, "You seem very calm today." He said, "I am." A few minutes later, he showed me the Newsom letter. After parole, Richard wants and intends to work with a transitional housing project he knows. Anyway, I believe you made the correct decision first time around. Thank you.
Thank you.
Speaker, Chairman, we have no more speakers in support.
Thank you, moderator. We'll now take speakers in opposition to Richard Cortina.
We have Robert Brown appearing by video. Can you please unmute yourself by pressing the microphone button?
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, thank you. Your time will begin as soon as you begin to speak.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Chair and members of the board. I'm Assistant District Attorney Robert Brown. I was the trial prosecutor on Mr. Cortina's case. originally. And when it comes to the assessment of his the unreasonable risk of dangerousness of Mr. Cortina, I view it through two lenses. One are the circumstances of the offense, because he placed far more people in danger than merely his victim, Paul Sonoe. When he killed Mr. Sonoe, he did that in front of others and was on the verge of shooting another person when he was stopped by his co-participant. Following that, he barricaded himself and had a standoff with law enforcement where he fired rounds and himself was shot during the process. And so that's my starting point as to how dangerous he is for society. When I evaluate whether or not he continues to be dangerous, I find it a little bit difficult to make a complete assessment because he has exhibited a pattern of deceit over the course of the last few years. He lied obviously during the trial, but as he acknowledged during the course of our last hearing, he lied to the panel that was hearing him a year and a half ago, or maybe it's 2 years ago now. He lied to the psychologist who did his comprehensive risk assessment just prior to that hearing in 2023. And so when he makes assertions now about his plans and how much he has learned and changed, his credibility is seriously suspect in that regard. I think it is an unreasonable risk to release him, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Chairperson, there are no more speakers in opposition.
The next case is Andre Freer, AK 8168, item 39. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
I'm sorry, Chairperson. There was another person that was in support of Marco Avalos that just was added. Do you want to come back and circle at the end, or should they speak now?
We can go ahead and hear that. And again, that was for speaker in support of Marco Avalos?
Correct. Rocky Hunt, available by phone. If you please unmute yourself. Rocky Hunt. If you're on the phone, please unmute yourself by pressing *6. Okay, we might need to circle back.
Yeah, moderator, we'll go ahead and circle back at the end. We will now take, are there any more speakers in support of Andre Freer?
Yes, we have speakers in support of Andre Freer. Julio Santos, appearing by video. Please unmute yourself by pressing the microphone button.
Good afternoon. Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, and thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is Julio Santos. I'm a certified drug and alcohol counselor, and I currently work with the Street Crisis Response Team in San Francisco. We are partnered up with the San Francisco Fire Department, and our job is to help people in moments of deep vulnerability find stability and hope. I was sentenced to 35 years to life, but by the grace of God, my sentence was commuted by Governor Newsom. I also served a total of 16 years. I was found suitable by the Honorable Commissioner Chappelle. Today, I stand before you as living proof that transformation is possible. But I didn't get here alone. I wouldn't be where I am without people like Andre Freer in my life, people who walked beside me through the hardest chapters of my life. I've known Andre since 2015, and since then, we've facilitated so many groups together. We've taken countless laps around the yard, shared our stories, and helped each other heal. I've had an honor of being a sponsor in recovery, and I've watched him grow into a man of integrity, a man that's humble, and a man that's driven by purpose. Andre has been sober since 2019 and has poured himself into his healing. He has earned multiple degrees, including a BA in business administration, and now leads programs like CGA, anger management, relapse prevention, and Phoenix Alliance. He's built a strong foundation for reentry. He's been accepted into transitional housing, lined up with good opportunities with the Anti-Recidivism Coalition, CROP, which is creating restorative opportunities and programs, and he's planning to pursue his MBA. But what speaks most of his character is his heart. Andre's deeply ashamed of his heinous crime he committed. He carried the weight every day and regrets his choices that led him there. He doesn't hide from the truth, he faces it, and he's committed to making amends through service, accountability, and growth. Before I was paroled, I was mentoring a young man named Jonathan. I worried deeply about what would happen to him once I left. Without me even asking, Andre stepped in. He offered to support Jonathan, to guide him, and to be steady presence he needed. Today, Jonathan is striving, and that's because of people like Andre, who are committed to preventing others from walking the same paths we once did. Like we say in recovery, you can only keep what you have.
Your time has elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
Thank you for your opportunity to speak, and I hope that you guys make the best decision. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next speaker that we have is Michael Ramos on video. Please unmute yourself by pressing the microphone button.
Good morning. Thank you. Can you all hear
Go
me?
ahead. Yes, we can hear you. Your 2 minutes will start.
Good morning. My name is Mike Ramos, and I work with Impact Justice, which is a national research and innovation center that launches and scales programs both inside prisons and for people returning home. I first met Andre Freer at Soledad State Prison, where I was serving on the steering committee for the Phoenix Alliance program, a leadership training focused on choices, behavior, and building skills like responsibility, proactive decision-making, and effective communication. Andre stood out immediately. He completed the program, returned as a coach, and now serves on the steering committee himself. Together, we shifted the narrative inside CTF Soledad, showing that accountability, integrity, and leadership could thrive even in a prison environment. That work that he has done and we did together rippled outward, inspiring hundreds of residents, strengthening staff relationships, and creating partnerships with organizations outside the walls. Beyond the prison, Andre has the opportunity to continue that impact through the Homecoming Project, a program in Los Angeles and the Bay Area that matches people returning home with hosts who provide safe, stable housing for up to 6 months. This isn't just a safe place for people to reside. It's a foundation for rebuilding life, connecting with community, and continuing to lead by example. Through our work and friendship, I've seen Andre's integrity, accountability, and commitment to growth firsthand. I am confident that with the support of programs like the Homecoming Project, that he will continue to transform lives, positively ripple through his own community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Chairperson, there are no more speakers in support of Andre Freer.
Moderator will now take speakers in opposition to Andre Freer.
Thank you very much. We have Brigitte Qureshi on video. Please unmute yourself. Thank you very much. Your time will begin as soon as you speak.
Good morning, commissioners. My name is Bridget, and I am the sister of Sophia Ngo, the victim. On November 24th, my sister's life was violently stolen. The man who committed this act, seeking parole. I stand before you not only as her sister, but as a representative for my family. The impact of my sister's murder is not a fleeting moment in grief. It is a permanent scar in our lives. Every moment of happiness is now shadowed by her absence. We cannot celebrate without a sharp, agonizing reminder that she is not here to share with us. Fear and anxiety have become constant companions. The trauma of losing my sister at such a young age has built walls around my heart. Our family dynamics have been shattered. Every gathering is a painful reminder of the empty seat at our table. Every memory is a wound reopened. His blatant disregard for life has robbed us of our sense of safety. Even with a no-contact order, the fear of his potential retaliation is constant and a gnawing anxiety. We live in a small community where everyone knows each other. The potential for him to seek revenge is a terrifying reality. Prison is a controlled environment, and the real world is not. The severity of his crime cannot be understated. He followed my sister and her boyfriend, knowing that she was in the car, and did not care. He shot them both in front of my parents' home over a drug dispute, demonstrating his callous disregard for human life. Every time my parents leave their house, they have to drive down that street, and we are confronted with this violent and senseless nature of her death. During the initial court proceedings, he showed no remorse, no acknowledgement of the pain inflicted. His prison records reflect—
Speaker, your time has elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
Okay. His so-called transformation journey conveniently started when the laws changed and he was eligible for parole. This suggests an alternative motive in line with his—
Please conclude your statement.
I respectfully ask that you do not release this man. Please do not compound our suffering. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chairperson, there are no more speakers in opposition of Andre Freer.
The next case is Ricky Kong, AF 5775, item 40. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. There are no speakers signed up in support of Ricky Kong.
We will now take speakers in opposition to Ricky Kong.
Yes, we have on video Michelle Bain. Please unmute yourself by pressing the microphone. Is that Michelle Bain?
Yes. Good morning, commissioners. My name is Michelle Bain. I am the mother of Daniel Victor Magana Jr., who was tragically and senselessly shot and killed by Ricky Kong on June 10th, 2006. I am writing to express my deepest pain and respectfully urge you to deny parole to Mr. Kong. It has been nearly 2 decades since my son has been taken from me, but the heartbreak is raw today as it is then. There is no moving on from this loss of a child. My son Daniel was a loving father to 4 children who are now growing up without their dad. They have missed out on his love, guidance, and presence during the most important years of their lives. I've watched them struggle with him, and it's heartbreaking. As for me, I live every single day in grief. There are no words to describe what it feels like to bury your child. The pain is constant and it touches every part of their life. There is a hole in our family that will never be filled. Ricky Kong made a choice that day. He took my son's life. His choice, violence. He chose violence, and his actions changed our lives forever. I do not believe he is ready to return to society. I have seen no evidence that he has truly taken responsibility or fully grasped the devastating consequences of what he did. My family is still serving a life sentence of grief and loss. Why should this man who caused this to be given a second chance now? Allowing Mr. Kong parole would only dishonor my son's memory, but would also reopen wounds for every one of us who love Daniel. Justice demands that Mr. Kong serves the full sentencings. Daniel's life was stolen. He doesn't get a second chance. His children don't get their father back, and I don't get my son back. Please, I beg, I plead to not grant Mr. Kong parole. My family has already lost too much. We deserve the peace knowing that the person who tore our life apart is being held fully accountable.
Your time has elapsed.
I thank you for your time.
Thank you. The next speaker is Manuel Dominguez. On video, please unmute yourself by pressing the microphone button. Your 2 minutes will begin as soon as you begin to speak.
Good morning, commissioners. Speaking on behalf of Ricky Kong, I'm the victim of Daniel Magana's brother. Basically, I just want to say this man is a monster to society, a menace to society. On his previous parole board's hearing, this gentleman gave full confessions that on the day that he murdered my brother, his intentions were to murder everybody that was there, including his own friends that were part of his gang. You know, he continued his gang activity behind your prison walls. You guys got records of that. He did not only shoot my brother, he shot 3 other people in an attempt to take their lives. 15 years. I don't think this man, you know, even though he's going through your guys' courses, school courses and everything, I don't think he's, you know, remorseful of what he did. You know, like my mom said earlier, you know, my brother's done missed out on all of his kids. You know, one of them graduating from USC with a bachelor's degree. My brother don't get to see that. One of his daughters just had a baby just like a couple of days ago. He's not going to be part of that life neither. You know, this guy is a menace to society, bro. Like, and I'm asking the commissions, do not grant this gentleman parole. Let him sit there and do the time that the deal that was, you know, originated. And yeah, it's just, I don't think he's learned anything other than trying to complete your guys' classes inside your system to get out early. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. The next speaker we have is Sherry Magana on video. Please unmute yourself by pressing the microphone button. Sherry Magana or Magana. Okay, we'll have to circle back. Next, we have Arlene Magana Tovar on video. Please unmute yourself by pressing the microphone button. Arlene Magana Tovar. Okay, we'll have to circle back. Next, we have Danielle Magana on video.
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you. Your 2 minutes will begin.
Dear members of the parole board, I am writing to you for the third time regarding Ricky Kong, who convicted of taking the life of my beloved brother Daniel Magana on June 10th, 2006. I once again ask that you deny his request for parole. The pain our family has endured since the day is indescribable. Losing Daniel in such a senseless and violent way left a permanent hole in our hearts. He was more than just my brother. He was a son, a dad, a friend, and a source of light and love to everyone who knew him. There hasn't been a single day since his death that we haven't felt the weight of his absence. My mother in particular has suffered in ways that no parent ever should. The grief of losing a child has consumed her, affecting her health, her spirit, and her will to enjoy life. Her heart was shattered the day Daniel was taken from us. It has never healed. We all do our best to support her, but nothing will ever fill the void left by his loss. The pain we live with is lifelong. Daniel's future was stolen, and our family was robbed of the chance to see him grow to succeed and build a life with his kids and family. Ricky Kong made a choice, a devastating, irreversible choice, and consequences of that choice should be fully carried out. Allowing him to be released before serving his full sentence will send a message that Daniel's life and the suffering we have endured have somehow what matter less than the right of the man who took it. We are not seeking vengeance. We are asking for seeking justice. Justice means that Ricky Kong serves a full sentence he was given for the crime he committed. Anything less would be betrayed of the memory of my brother and the further trauma to our family. Thank you again for your time and your consideration of our plea. Please help us find a small measure of peace by endorsing that Ricky Kong is not granted parole. Thank you.
Thank you. The next person we have is Christina Arenda on video. Please unmute yourself by pressing the microphone button. Christina Arenda, are you with us? Okay, we'll circle back. Julian Walker on video. Please unmute yourself. Julianne Walker.
Oh, can you hear me okay?
Yes, your 2 minutes will begin.
Thank you. Good morning to the board. Despite the fact that Mr. Kong's programming is massive and impressive, and he had a low-risk CRA, the problem is he continued to lie and deny in the very grant hearing. And the commissioners panel acknowledged that he lied and they didn't find him credible. And this was regarding his claim that he wouldn't have shot the victim had he known that he was a family man in the area. And this was belied by proof provided throughout the hearing, and in particular from the family, who noted that there was a pass given to the victim to enter that gang area. Mr. Magana was given a pass. The inmate knew the victim. He'd seen him with his children. He'd gone to school with them. And yet he continues to claim that despite the good communication between the two gangs in this area, he didn't know that he had a pass. Mr. Magana had a pass. And it's implausible. And that goes to the very core of rehabilitation. So all that programming he did doesn't really count when the first thing one must be is honest with yourself in order to really program and understand the tenets. And he didn't do that, and he still isn't doing it. He didn't do it in this last hearing. So based on that, and despite all of that programming, he has a lack of honesty, credibility, and insight, and that makes him a current unreasonable risk to public safety. The grant is improvident and should be rescinded. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Speaker, we have no more speakers in opposition of Ricky Kong.
Thank you, moderator. The next case is Ramon Lopez, J05379, item 41. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
We have Gabrielle Trujillo on video. Please unmute yourself by pressing the microphone button. Your 2 minutes will begin as soon as you start to speak. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Gabrielle Trujillo, one of Mr. Lopez's attorneys at the Juvenile Innocence and Fair Sentencing Clinic at Loyola Law School. I acknowledge the irrevocable harm Mr. Lopez caused to the victim and her loved ones. Mr. Lopez thinks constantly about the harm he caused. He has spent over 30 years working to understand the broken, impulsive, and misguided teenager he was when he participated in a brutal and racially motivated attack that killed the victim. At his hearing, the board recognized that Mr. Lopez, quote, fit the bill of a youthful offender whose hallmark features of youth contributed to his life crime. But the question for the board is who he is today, and he is not the teenager that committed his life crime. At his parole hearing, Mr. Lopez was found suitable because the commissioners recognized that he, quote, started on his trajectory of change well before he knew he would even be eligible for parole. And the board recognized the extensive relapse prevention plans for stress management, criminal thinking, racism, sexual assault, substance abuse, and anger management. He has worked to understand why he committed this crime, his former racial bias, and his distorted belief that he needed to exercise power over another person. And Mr. Lopez has remained discipline-free since 2006 and free of violence since 2003. This was key to the board's suitability finding at his hearing. He has demonstrated leadership through his work on the Inmate Advisory Committee, built robust relapse prevention plans, and prepared stable and realistic parole plans. He continues to participate in programs like Power of Hope, addiction counseling, and recovering from racism. He has the fierce support of his family and friends, and Mr. Lopez will be our client for the rest of his life. We at the clinic have lawyers and social workers who do this work every day. We understand the challenges of reentry. We have never had a paroled client reoffend. For these reasons, we respectfully request that the board affirm his suitability finding.
Thank you. The next speaker we have is Ramon Martinez on the phone. Please unmute yourself by pressing *6. Ramon Martinez. Chairperson, there are no more speakers in support of Ramon Lopez.
Moderator will now take speakers in opposition to Ramon Lopez.
Thank you, Chairperson. We have Julianne Walker on video. Please unmute yourself by pressing the microphone button.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, your 2 minutes will begin.
Thank you. The problem with this exceedingly brutal, racially motivated gang rape and murder of the victim, which in and of itself is horrific, is the fact that Mr. Lopez has not sufficiently addressed sexual reoffense. And this was not even discussed in this last grant. Not at all. And that's despite the fact that in 2019, that panel recommended you must do sex offense reprogramming. In 2024, the panel noted he hadn't read all of the Road to Freedom or completed the workbook, and he didn't have a good understanding of what his role or what his issues were with respect to sexual offending. And he hasn't done any since. at least according to the administrative review dated December 5th, 2024. And there's nothing, as I said, discussed in the hearing transcript about programming. Just because this inmate denies he participated in the rape beating doesn't remove the obligation to program in this area. In fact, it shows a complete lack of insight, denial, and a lack of credibility with respect to his involvement. He was found guilty of the rape and has been told to program regarding sex offending. His lack of genuine effort and understanding in this area makes him a current unreasonable risk to public safety, in particular because his static 99 is well above average at 89%, and the clinician indicated that this fairly represented his risk for future sexual offense. Therefore, this is an improvident grant and should be rescinded, and we ask the panel do that today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Chairperson, there are no more speakers for Ramon Lopez.
Thank you. We are now nearing the end of today's agenda. We will have an opportunity for people to comment on any of the cases on today's agenda after the remaining 2 cases, but you must be on the speaker list. You can submit a speaker card available on the board's website under the tab called Board Meetings and the link called Meeting Agendas. Alternately, you can call 916-267-0857 and provide your information and the case you would like to speak on. The next case is Juan Mejia, AX 2035, item 42. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Chairperson, we have no speakers in support or opposition of Juan Mejia.
Thank you. The last case is Roderick Wee, P28562, item 43. Moderator, please call for speakers in support.
Thank you, Chairperson. We have Kevin Gentry on video. Please unmute yourself, and your 2 minutes will begin as soon as you start to speak. Kevin Gentry. Okay, we'll have to circle back. We have no more speakers in support of Roderick Wee.
Moderator, we will now take speakers in opposition to Roderick Wee.
I'm sorry, Board of Parole Hearings. My microphone just became enabled. Am I still able to speak?
Mr. Gentry, you can go ahead and speak. And again, this is in support?
This is in support, yes, sir.
You may go ahead, sir, and your time will begin once you begin to speak.
Okay, thank you. And I appreciate the board for allowing me this opportunity to speak on Roderick Wee's behalf. I have been a dear friend, a close friend of Roderick Wee's since 2003 when we met in Folsom State Prison. I too was a lifer that was granted parole and released in 2016. And in that time at Folsom State Prison, from 2003 to 2016, him and I were pretty inseparable. We were each other's, support system, confidant, all those things. So we spoke a lot about our cases to one another and partook in a lot of self-help together. So during that time, pretty much all the self-help he has taken during that period of time, I took at the same time in conjunction with him. And I could tell you this, after many years of speaking with Rick and just spending time with him, there has been no one person that has come to mind that has worked harder on rehabilitation and has thought more about the impact of his offense than I have noticed with Roderick Wee. We are still friends today. We talk every day. He calls me virtually every day. And he has prepared immensely for not only each day while in prison and his life while, it's spent in there, but in the eventuality or in the hope that he one day is released. And I'm sure that is evident in all his preparation for jobs and aftercare and those sorts of things. And
Speaker,
I
your
stand
time
in
has
strong.
elapsed. Please conclude your statement.
I stand in strong support of Roderick Wee, and I'm still the same person in support of him as I was in there to provide whatever support he needs upon release. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Moderator will continue to take speakers in opposition to Roderick Wee.
Thank you, Chairperson. We have Connie Lasky in person. Your 2 minutes will begin as soon as you begin to speak.
Use your coping skills. We expect inmates to develop and show that they can use coping skills to prevent future violence. The governor expressed concern about the inmate's ability to use his coping skills, and with good reason. Inmate Wee has shown that he cannot utilize his coping skills to prevent violence. When he violently tortured and murdered his 7-year-old son, he had coping skills. At his hearing, he testified that he knew that he could walk away. He knew that he could call his wife, the victim's mother, and tell her that he was frustrated and needed help with the children. That night, in the middle of the multiple hours of torture, when Matthew was probably already bleeding to death internally, the inmate did call his wife to have the listless Matthew say goodnight to her before he continued violently beating the small, defenseless child. He did not ask for help. He did not walk away. Instead, he continued torturing the child, stomping on his genitals, dislocating his fingers, kicking him and throwing him against walls and furniture. He did not use his coping skills because, as the inmate admitted at the most recent hearing, this was not an act of uncontrollable rage. This was an act of power and control that he enjoyed exercising over an innocent child. The inmate does not address the sadistic aspects of this murder because he never admitted them until the most recent hearing. His last parenting class was in 2012, so he is not familiar with recent developments in child psychology, as pointed out by Deputy Commissioner Dang. Incredulously, the inmate also claimed that until taking parenting classes over a decade ago, he did not know that it was wrong to harm a child, even though he said that he resented his father for abusing him as a child. Although, as I pointed out at the hearing, none of the inmate's family members who wrote letters in support of his parole mentioned anything about the inmate having had an abusive childhood, which appears to just be a convenient excuse for the inmate's violent behavior toward a defenseless child. This board should believe the inmate when he admitted at the hearing that he continues to pose an unreasonable danger to public safety of children, because he said at that hearing that he did not want to take any
Your 2 minutes
chances
have
with
elapsed.
having children.
Please conclude your statement.
This improvident ground of parole must be reversed.
Thank you. The next speaker we have is Sylvia Nixon on video. Please unmute yourself by pressing the microphone button.
Hi, Commissioners. Thank you for listening to us today. I am Matthew's mom. This person systematically beat my 7-year-old Matthew to death with his bare hands over a period of 3.5 hours on November 14th, 1996. This constitutes torture. He should never be released from prison. He chose to do this. He could have called me at work. He could have done a number of things, but instead he just continually beat my son. We, the Matthews family, have ourselves a life sentence. A life sentence without Matthew. He would be 37 now. He would be the big brother to Elijah. But we have this life sentence that we never get released from, ever. We will never be paroled, and we will always be missing Matthew. Because of this person's horrible things he did, we were forced to relocate to another state. I don't even have the ability to go to my son's grave. I haven't been to Matthew's grave in 14 years. If any of you have buried your child, you know what pain this is. He has shown no remorse except for some letters he wrote before his first parole hearing that were basically form letters that went out to everybody in the family. He said he needed an intimate surrounding for remorse. He has just got the program Speak Down. He just will do whatever his attorney tells him so that the parole board will think, oh yeah, he needs to get out. When he doesn't, he's a manipulator, and he's still a manipulator. I will go to parole hearings for the rest of my life to keep him in prison. I am begging you to deny this parole. Where is the justice for Matthew and his family? There should be no justice for inmates. He should not ever be released from prison. As long as we have to serve, he should have to serve. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next person we have is Elijah Nixon on video. Please unmute yourself.
Hello, this is Elijah Nixon. I am the younger brother of the victim, Matthew. I do want to start out by opening up with the fact that as a teacher, I am very familiar with the concept of restorative justice. I am completely for restorative justice. I fully believe in rehabilitation over incarceration. I've heard several stories of inmates who I truly believe have earned parole because they have done the work necessary. They have rehabilitated themselves. But this inmate has not. He was granted parole on the grounds that his risk factor was low, despite the fact that he openly admitted he wouldn't want to be around children. This in spite of the fact that he has not had any refreshers on how to be around children. This in spite of the fact that he has not shown remorse for his actions. In fact, at every parole hearing we have attended, one of the consistent criticisms of the inmate is that he shows no real remorse. He explains his emotions in a way that sounds like he is simply reading from a textbook. I have no doubt that his words have been carefully chosen to include all of the psychological buzzwords that the parole board is looking to hear. The inmate has not shown that he is truly ready for release. There's no monetary value to the holes in our lives. There's no material possession that can make up for them. But peace of mind is incredibly valuable, something that we find ourselves lacking. If the inmate was truly sorry, truly remorseful, as he has claimed to be, if he truly wanted to ease our suffering, as he has claimed to want, he would pay us in peace of mind by making sure we felt safe for him. He would pay us back in peace of mind by making sure that we never had to attend a parole hearing. He would make sure that he paid us back in peace of mind by not having applied for early parole time and time again. He is not ready to rejoin society. He is only thinking of himself. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Chairperson, there are no more speakers in opposition of Roderick Wee. Would you like to circle back to the other people on the list for other?
Yeah, we will now. We'll go ahead and take comments from anyone who has not yet spoken and wants to comment on a case on today's agenda. Moderator, are there any speakers?
I see a hand. Can you please unmute yourself? Okay, the hand is gone, but I do know that Sherry Magana signed. Sherry Magana re-entered. That was in opposition of Ricky Kong, excuse me. Sherry
Magana
needs to have her mic enabled. Unmute yourself, please, by pressing. Okay, it's showing muted on your side. If you can unmute yourself by pressing the microphone button.
Hi, yes, good morning. I'm here. I do not want to actually speak on this today.
Okay, thank you very much. I have our hand raised. Please unmute yourself.
Hi, moderator. We should be going through those who submitted a speaker card and were unable to speak. So I see a phone number ending in 6293. I believe that's Don Dorenbos, who wanted to speak on the Miguel Rodriguez case. So if we could please enable that microphone.
Hello.
Please go ahead.
We can hear you. We can hear
My
you.
name is Dawn. Hi, my name is Dawn Dorenbos.
oldest child of the victim, Harold Dorenbos. And I'm talking with all my siblings, my nieces, my nephews, my grandchildren, and we've all agreed that we do not want the perpetrator, Miguel Rodriguez, released from prison, as we feel that he has not rehabilitated himself and that he's going to keep on doing what he's been doing. He took an innocent life back in '91, and now my family doesn't get to see him because of what he has done. So please, on behalf of my family, please don't release him.
Thank you.
And then-
Chairperson, oh, excuse me, go ahead.
Go ahead. Have you concluded your statement? Chairperson, or excuse me, moderator, we can go ahead and.
Thank you, Chairperson. We have online on the phone Ana Garcia. She is in support of Manuel VASQUEZ. Please unmute yourself. Ana Garcia, unmute yourself by pressing the *6 button. You can speak.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, your 2 minutes will begin as soon as you start to speak.
Thank you. Dear Parole Board, my name is Ana Garcia and Manuel VASQUEZ, older sister. I am here today to share my perspective and his character growth that I have personally witnessed. I am aware of his challenges and mistakes that he has made in the past. However, I have witnessed in the past few years a genuine effort to take responsibility and improve his life. He no longer associates himself with negative influence and has shown consistency with responsibilities. He holds himself accountable for his actions and understands the restitution to convention was wrong. My brother has done extensive work to rehabilitate himself spiritually, mentally, and physically with the help of his counselors, mentors, teachers, and family. He has been able to repent and to turn his life around. He continues to grow as a person through his education and has fulfilling future guiding those through similar circumstances. If he is granted parole, he plans to do just that as a drug and alcohol counselor and continue his education. He has been there since he was in a very early age, when he was 20. He understands he made mistakes, and he's asking for a second chance as his family as well. We ask the board to please grant him parole. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next person we have is Ana VASQUEZ. She's on the phone in support of, are you there?
No.
In support of Manuel VASQUEZ, please begin.
Yes. No.
We can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Okay, ya. Habla. ¿En español? En español, por favor.
We will. Do you have a translator available?
My daughter.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So, her daughter. Habla, just tell them exactly, mom. Habla, es como habla. Sí, buenos días. Soy Ana Vázquez, mamá de Manuel Vázquez. Hi, good morning. My name's Ana Vázquez. I am mother of Manuel Vázquez. Y les estoy hablando para poder decirles que mi hijo le den una oportunidad. I am calling today so you can give my son an opportunity. De que él ha cambiado bastante las veces que he ido a visitarlo. That he has changed since every time I have seen him. Does it hit him?
Él ha cambiado en la forma de cómo piensa y él ha dicho que está arrepentido de las cosas que hizo en el pasado.
That he has, that he, ¿qué dice?
Está arrepentido.
Oh my gosh, sorry.
Arrepentido.
That he has repent. He's asking for repent.
Le está pues he regret.
Oh, he regrets, sorry. Ay, pues habla en inglés.
Pues es que cosas no sé. Esa de que está arrepentido.
He regrets
de las cosas que hizo en su juventud.
the things that he has done as a youth, as a young child.
Y ahora que fui a verlo, él está contento porque ha progresado mucho en sus estudios.
He's very happy that he has completed a lot of courses in school and accomplishments.
Yo como mamá de él quisiera pedirles,
like his mom, I am asking
que le den una oportunidad
to give him an opportunity
de demostrarle
to demonstrate
que afuera va a estar bien, va para la comunidad.
that he's going to be good for the community.
Y él ha estudiado bastante.
And he has studied a lot.
Y nos ha dado muchos consejos a nosotros que antes no podíamos oírlo de él, pero
he has given us a lot of
advice. Y por favor, consideren en darle una oportunidad, ya que él está desde los 20 años ahí adentro.
Please consider and giving him a second chance, since he's been there since he was the age of 20. Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Chairperson, it doesn't seem like we have any more speakers.
Thank you, moderator. Does any board member wish to request an agenda item for a future meeting? Hearing none, now we will hear comments from the public regarding general matters related to the board. We are not taking comments on cases right now. You must be a speaker on the list to make a comment. You can be added to the speaker list by calling 916-267-0857 and provide your information and the case or area you would like to speak on. Comments concerning future parole hearings are not permitted during this meeting. Please send those comments to the board for inclusion in the materials for that hearing. Comments are limited to 2 minutes and there is no opportunity for rebuttal. Please wait to speak until we call your name or identify you by your login information. Moderator, is there anyone seeking to make a general comment related to the board?
Yes, Chairperson. Vanessa Nelson.
She is in person. Thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa Nelson Sloan for Life Support Alliance. The proposed regulations that hopefully will allow LWOPs and other long sentence individuals to possibly enter the parole cycle have engendered quite a buzz of hope in the institutions. And I'm sure you'll get a lot of questions when you visit those various institutions, as we do when we show up. My constant recommendation to the population is to read the regulations for good understanding and also providing information to them as to where they can find those regulations. But many IPs tell us that the regulations are hard to find on their tablets and even harder to read on the small screens, and that the law libraries are often closed, unavailable, or unwilling to provide the regulations. LSA has sent in more than 200 hard copies to individuals already, and I'd like to find a better way to make this content available to those who need to see it. So along that line, I'd like to suggest the possibility of the board reaching out via question and answers in various institutions. This would not mean going to every institution, as LWOPs are not in every institution, but I think it would be worth consideration for members of the board or members of the staff to go to the institutions, have a question and answer series for an hour or so with those who are involved. There's a lot of questions that we can't answer. There's a lot of questions that I think they would like to get off their chest and make known to you folks. You could bring those back to your staff and let them know those comments for the public comment session. Just food for thought of something I think would help the population understand what's going on better. Thank you.
Chairperson, there are no more speakers for general comments.
Thank you, moderator. On behalf of my colleagues, I wish to thank everyone for participating today. We will recess the open session of the September Executive Board meeting at this time. We will return briefly following closed session to adjourn today's meeting.